There we go. Hi, friends. Welcome back. This is Caitlin, and you are hanging out with me and Pink and Maine. I saw already at least one person said this was their first time coming to hang out. So I am so excited that you're here. Hi to everybody watching later in the replay. This hopefully is going to be the kind of video that you guys can come back to and rewatch anytime that you are looking for some embossing inspiration or want to recheck out some swatches. So yeah, hopefully this is some good forever kind of content for you guys. Tonight we are swatching this bin. So we have 16 colors. We're tackling the blue, purples, and pinks. I will tell you now that a serious case could be made that I have this color, cranberries, in the wrong bin. This is pretty red. We did use it as a red. It's a deeper, kind of almost maroony red that has a holographic glitter. My only defense is that in my neutrals bin, the next one in line is red fox, which is like a orangey brown with a gold. And to me, they're like, I don't know, they're in the same family. So just keep that in mind. I have cranberry in with my pinks as more of like a maroon, but maybe that's not where she really lives. In fact, we can swatch that against, like show it against the reds later too. Maybe that'll be the best way to like work with this. Let me do the rundown because I see lots of people in the comments already. So I see Deanne, Melissa's here, Virginia, Judith, Michelle's checking in from Puerto Rico. Poor Deanne's cat is trying to get in on her swatch time. Lori's here. That was me saying hi to you guys. Carol's here. It's Carol's first time checking in from South Carolina. Thanks, Judith, for letting her know about us. That makes my heart happy. Susan's here. Mary's back. I'm so sorry that you were in the hospital, but I'm glad that you are back. Elizabeth's here. Connie, Debbie, Barbara, just the whole gang, man. You guys know you can always check in. We're always live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Or you can always catch the replay. We always keep them up, and we're on Facebook and YouTube. So wherever it's most convenient for you to watch from, I'm here to hang out. So yeah, for anybody who missed last Thursday, you can go back and check it out whenever you want. Let me grab the bin. Last Thursday, we took care of somewhere in my delusional state. I thought I was going to get through 45 or 46 embossing powders in one go. And spoiler alert, that did not happen. So we took care of this bin on last Thursday. So we did red, orange, yellow, green, and teal. And I have all of those swatches still here. So at the end, we'll do a run through of our new ones, and I'll also quickly run over these guys for anybody that needs a refresh. And then next Thursday, we're going to wrap up our little swatch series with the neutrals bin that has all of our browns, metallics, blacks, white, and we'll talk about clear. Not sure that we need to swatch the two clears, but we'll at least talk about them. And the way that I'm deciding to do this is to stamp sentiments. So that way I have swatches that I can use when we're done. These bins that do fit these pretty perfectly, I will tell you, are from Target. They're, of course, I don't have one with the names. Oh, yes, I do. They're the Bright Room bins. I'm assuming it's okay to share because it's not like Pink and Maine has their own tray. So this is the Bright Room stackable tray, 9 inches by 6 by 3 1/4, and they stack by themselves. You don't need a lid. They just stack one on top of the other, and they fit these. They fit my glitters, and they fit my flocks and my embossing powders perfectly in that one layer, 16 across. I really do use them for my glitters. There's all my glitters. So they are, and this other bin has my water gems And they just stuck really nicely in my little craft cart. So if you need bin inspiration, I would check those out. They're very affordable. And I like that they're clear enough that I can tell which color bin I'm grabbing, but they're not completely clear so that if it gets a little messy, the world can see my messy bins. Um, Interesting. We got um, our first troll ever. So that's fun. He's blocked, so apologies if that was upsetting for anybody, but he's gone now, and those comments are gone too. So if that ever happens while I'm swatching, I don't have a moderator yet. Maybe one day we'll get big enough that we need one of those. But if you guys ever see that, you can always let me know. And I can talk to Michelle too about getting a moderator at some point. Interesting. Okay, let's move on. So my dad's here. That's exciting. Hi, Dad. And yeah, let's switch over to, there we go. Our overhead shot. So like I said, I have our bin that has a little tiny touch of teal, I guess, technically left. And then we're going to go into the blues. My bins kind of zigzag back and forth, but obviously you can do whatever you want to do, whatever makes you happy. And we're going to be using the, what are you? It's a celebration sentiment set, which is in the description for anybody that needs it. So I'm planning on using all three of these. I just wanted to be able to make swatches like these from last week that I can die cut and have down the road. Let me put these to the side where they'll be safe. And let's get out our Misty. Oh my gosh, you know what I didn't do is bring over my heat gun. That would be important, huh? I will tell you guys, for anybody who missed it last week, we discovered that as long as I don't talk while I'm melting my embossing powder, that you guys can't hear the heat gun. But it's so, there's going to be times where it's going on and you just aren't hearing me. It just sounds quiet. But I'll give you a heads up before that happens. I have some white cardstock here, just kind of trimmed down. And of course, we have our Pink and Main watermark embossing ink, and we have our anti-static magic anti-static brush that has that powder right in the inside. So great question, Melissa. I did manage to drop my heat gun last week, which meant it moved and then I melted some of it, but I've used it since then and it's been fine. So for now, I'm going to leave it, but I am going to look into a new one soon. I'm just not ready. I'm not ready to deal with that right now. All right. So the first color we've got, we're going to do hopefully a couple at a time, but I do have some smaller pieces of cardstock to work with. The first one we're going to work with is Winter Green. Let's get zoomed in just a little bit more, which is this beautiful tealy that has like a silver and a holographic glitter in it. And I will also show you that versus like the sea foam that we did last week once we get it stamped and melted. Yeah, we can probably get two. No, this one's probably just going to do one. So let's make it a big one if we're going to use up a whole piece of scrap over here. We'll do the happy birthday. That way we can do it at a little bit of an angle. All right, we're going to go treat our paper first. I'm curious, is there any specific color, like it doesn't have to be the name of one, but like pink, purple, blue, any specific colors, even for the next weeks or for anybody that missed, that you're very excited to see? Like, what's the embossing color that you're most generally excited for? I'm very curious. I feel like most of the time we see people using white, clear, and maybe like gold and silver. So bringing in some more colors is definitely fun. This is our winter green, and it is like a really beautiful option for winter. And that was like a really nice impression that we got with that one. That's a good sign. We're off to a good start. The joys of being live are that at some point I'll make some kind of mistake that we can all learn from. All right, let's get this melted. I'm pretty sure that's good. So that is our finished. Yeah, you can see the shine on that as well as the glitter. So that is winter green. And then let me find. So like just so you can see it versus sea foam and the darker teal that we ended with last week. So you can see sea foam is definitely a green, like that's green, right? Especially compared to that. So this is definitely that softer kind of robin's egg blue color. And it's way lighter than the last glitter that we used, which was, what's your name? Sea glass. So it fits kind of nicely in between. So that's our first. You're good. Yeah, it's all melted. I'm always nervous that first time I heat up that heat gun. That's our first one. I got to try to stay on track because we're going to have a lot to do. Oh, Elizabeth, that is so fair. Like I said, I know a lot of people don't use a ton of different colored cardstocks or colored embossing powders. And so I'm excited for you guys to see all of these too. Carol said she's looking the most forward to white, red, and green. So Carol, you're definitely going to want to go back if you didn't see it already. And I can't remember if you were here last time. Sorry about that. But you're definitely going to want to go back and watch the replay from last week because that one had the red and the green. I do always have, sorry, black cardstock ready too, in case any of these colors aren't reading well, or for when we get to the whites and some of the glitters, we can use those on the black cardstock. So we're going to do that. It's a celebration. I'm doing way better on the coughing, but you can hear I still have like a little Just a little something there. Hopefully that will stop. And our next color up is called Clear Day. That is another glitter. And it's beautiful. Although I'm probably going to say that. Yes, I have the the very true, Leslie. Um, so this is Clear Day, which is a really fun kind of green shift glitter in that blue. It's not completely silver. It's kind of like a Tinkerbell glitter, where it's like a little teal, pink, gold. It's like a little bit of everything. And it's this really beautiful kind of Cinderella babyish blue. Let's see. Let me get two from this one. We can probably get three, but we'll melt in between, or at least move them in between. Should have just left it right where it was. Just because I picked it up and handled it, we will brush on some more anti-static powder. And just like last time, you can kind of see where that stamp touched, right? But that's okay. That's not going to mess anything up. Once we put on more embossing ink and go over it, that'll all disappear right under our embossing powder. So don't ever feel like that cardstock can't be used now, because it'll be just fine. All right, and the next blue we have up is the Sapphire. I'm going to try really hard not to just say, which is beautiful after, but it is. This one is a blue on blue. So it's this really pure, beautiful, true blue, and it has a teal blue shift glitter. The thing I'm most excited about is besides those yellows that we did, all of these are looking really true to color on the screen. The yellows were a little more neon-y than in real life, but everything else has been very accurate. And once these are done, I do plan on doing like a bonus blog for Pink and Main, sharing all of the swatches like side by side lined up, and I'll put it in the gallery group, Facebook group too, for anybody that is over there and wants to be able to see it. And if you're not over there, you should be. You should be. It's a great group. Lots of fun inspiration. So let's melt those next. We have our Clear Day and our Sapphire. I'm going to go quiet for a second. Um, okay. So that is the Clear Day. You can see it almost has like a periwinkle, like slight blue tone to it, or sorry, purple tone to it in the with the glitter and the light, but a very beautiful, like I said, like a to me it is like a Cinderella blue. And then I also love to see it melt, Barbara and Tian. So I like to do that close up for you guys because I love seeing that. And then this is the sapphire with that kind of blue on blue glitter shift. Jeanette, no worries at all. You didn't miss anything crazy. So far we have wintergreen, Clear Day, and sapphire. So you still got 13 more colors to hang out with us through. Yeah, perfect. What else was I going to tell you? I thought of something while I was doing that. I don't remember. Figures. Becky said sapphire is the color her husband wants in a truck. Fair enough. It's beautiful. Dawn's here. Hi, Dawn. Julie's here. The paper artist. Said we love glitter cards during Christmas. Me too. A lot of people are loving the sapphire. That's fun. So the sapphire's non-glitter sister is Blueberry Fizz. So let's get that one. Pretty sure. Yeah, that'll fit. Always going back in with the anti-static powder. If you ever get too much of the anti-static powder from moving things around on your stamp, on your clear stamp, you can always take it to the sink and run it under the sink if you need to, even with a little tiny bit of a gentle cleanser. Like I use like a foam hand soap. Rinse it off really well and then let it air dry and it will be good as new. Like, and if you ever get extra glitter embossing powder, which I can tell you has happened to me many times, just from having like working over my Misty, I have definitely dumped glitter on top of a stamp before. So if that ever happens to you, same thing. Just rinse it and let it air dry and you will be good to go. Like, isn't that blue just crazy? So this one, like I said, is going to give us all still shine when it's melted, but no glitter. My printer paper ran over that stamp, dragged through that ink. So we have one little spot. And if that ever happens, I like to keep a teeny tiny little cheapy craft brush, like painting brush, but one of those real cheap ones that I don't care if anything bad happens to. Dry. You always want to go with a dry brush for this, but then you can just, you don't have, like if you want to try to sweep things away, you can, but I found that just kind of tapping it so that it moves out of place is usually enough. So there we go. That's nice and cleaned up. Jeanette, that's a good question. So Pink and Main has a detail clear that is definitely a finer, even finer grit. Technically, these aren't labeled as detail, but I would say, yes, I would say that I've been able to get very nice, very fine, detailed results. Like even some of these little smaller swishes and stuff in here, I've been completely fine with detail-wise. But I guess if you were trying really hard to get something teeny, teeny, tiny, there may be a more detail-oriented one out there. Melissa said or asked if I had used the sponge daubers. I have not used those new sponge daubers from Pink and Main, but they're on my list. And if you would like to see them in action, I will move them higher up on the list in priorities because I've also been very curious about them. All right, so we're going to do our 4 recap and then we'll move on to the next 4. So this is Winter Green with that silvery sparkle. Then we have Clear Day, a little bit of periwinkle purple in there. Then we have Sapphire with that blue on blue. There we go. And then lastly, we have Blueberry Fizz. True blue, no glitter. Okay. Next up is one of my all-time favorites. I've never seen another. The next couple actually are really good. But the next one specifically, I've never seen another embossing powder that's that color, which definitely doesn't mean that there isn't one out there, but it's definitely not common. It is the Denim embossing powder, and I seriously love it. It's so good. So I'm going to be a little close, but that's okay. I have my little grippy silicone helping hands that we can use just like we did last week if we need. Carol, yeah, you can definitely write them down, but also just like remember that these videos are going to be up, if not forever, for a good long while. So you can always come back to and rewatch for like a little refresh. Yeah, Virginia, these are so pretty. The other thing too with embossing ink, if you're ever worried about getting a good impression, it's better to just let this, like put a light, right? I'm just resting my hand there, put a light amount of pressure and just let the ink transfer on its own versus really pushing. These are pretty sturdy, heavy duty stamps because the lettering is thicker. But if you are using something that is more detail oriented, is a finer line, you might, if you're pressing down really hard, like Tim Holt says, you're doing that CPR motion, you're going to squish it too much. You're going to blur that line. You're not going to get that crisp edge. So this is the Denim, which is just this most beautiful dark blue with a dark blue glitter in it. It's so beautiful. It's definitely more subtle glitter wise, but when it melts, you still get that like double pop. It's so pretty. It's definitely way less saturated. It's got a little more gray to it. The name, I think, is perfect. It really does look like some dark wash denim. And when, you know, when we tap off, we get the glitter comes to the top. So you can really see how it's like a light wash almost kind of denim glitter with that darker under color. So beautiful. This is definitely the closest to navy, in my opinion, that Pink and Main has. I would consider it a navy. I don't know if it would be like true navy for everybody. It does, to me, navy might be a little bit more saturated, but just still a darker blue in general. But I think it'd be a contender in the navy list. And these are just my little silicone helping hands. They help hold the paper so I don't burn my fingers. I got mine from Simon Says Stamp. I know Michelle and Heidi love supporting each other. So we'll definitely give them a little shout out for that because it's a great tool. So you can see that that glitter is not like a silver bright glitter. It's still like a softer blue glitter, but it's beautiful. And I agree, this would be beautiful for 4th of July. It's that like just a little bit deeper. That's the denim and compared to Blueberry Fizz. So you can see like really so much darker. That's that guy. Next we have Hydrangea, which my mom is watching too, and I know this is going to be one of her favorites. There's two she's excited to see today, Hydrangea and Warm Sunset. And they're both these really fun, kind of shifting colors, kind of like Chameleon that we did last week, where it was like sometimes more blue, sometimes more green. That's this guy, but with blue and purple. This is my transition color between my blues and purples, where I have it lined up in my bin because it really does span both colors. So this is Hydrangea. And it looks more purple on the camera, but you can see the glitter in it is blue. And that's what gives it that really cool effect. Let's see if we can, right? That glitter is just this like beautiful teal. And once it melts, it'll pop even more. There you can kind of see both colors at once, the teal and that purple. And I do, this one's a good one to me for year round, but because of the name, I do usually kind of associate it more with like a springy, you know, hydrangea, springy floral, Mother's Day kind of color. Oh, good night, Mary. I hope you get some good rest. We'll see you next time. There we go. Like how just beautiful is that? In person, there's even more, there you can kind of see, there's even more of that blue flash to it, but it's so pretty. The start of the purple family. Yeah, it brightens up a lot once it's starting to melt. So the next in our line is a lavender, which is definitely kind of in that lavendery, almost periwinkle, very light, very soft. Again, debating if this one, maybe this will be the first one we do on black, because the pinks that we did last week probably should have been on black cardstock. maybe for next week, I'll make a couple extra bonus swatches that we can look at with those for those lighter colors. Let's try it out on black because I know it's going to pop really bright. Get that nice and treated. Get our stamp re-inked up. And the black is always nice because you can really tell right away if you got a good impression or not. Yeah. And again, I'm trying not to be completely terrible for the environment. I am just using the same printer paper over and over again. So this one also has that same kind of Tinkerbell glitter in it. Not quite silver, not quite purple, but you can see how beautiful that's going to pop on this black cardstock. This is lavender. Melt it down. There we go. Oh, that's so interesting. In person, it still has so much glitter, but it like doesn't want to show the glitter on the camera. Huh. I wonder if that's because of the black underneath. I don't know how that works. Interesting. Well, I will also swatch it in white for next time, but I promise you there is glitter still in there. Hey, Susan. That's so weird. Okay, well, still beautiful, still a beautiful lavender color. Let's swap back over. You know what, maybe we'll do a twofer with this one. And see if we can, we'll swatch that on the white to see if you can see the glitter. Because that's gonna bug me. We will do grape soda. Oh, the other thing I meant to tell you, the blueberry fizz, because I made such a big deal about the orange pop having a smell, I do feel the need to share that the blueberry fizz, when I melted it, which I hadn't realized before, smells like crayon. Yeah, crayon. So depending on where you are in the country, crown. For me, it's a crayon. And that was interesting. That was not something I was expecting. We're gonna stamp up both of these because I was talking and not paying attention to what I was doing. And we're just, if there's a little grape soda gets in our lavender, you'll just have to forgive me. Most of these don't have a smell at all, which is the only reason I'm letting you know. But the orange pop smells like oranges. And the blueberry fizz smells like crayons. There's our double dose of lavender. And then next up, we'll do grape soda, and we'll just melt those together. Barbara, I've definitely heard some people call it a crown. A crown. They say it without like that separation. I'm not positive what region, but I promise you, there is one. So that is grape soda, just a true classic grapey purple. No glitter. We'll get those melted. Hey, GB. All right, that grape soda, I overheated it, looks like just a little bit. If you remember, it's just from running my heat gun so long. Sometimes when it gets overheated, it gets those little kind of splotchy marks. I still love it. I still think it's beautiful. I would definitely still use that. And now you can see more of the glitter in that happy birthday. So I would say, I'm assuming it's because black absorbs light. So I would say if you're looking for a high contrast with your color, if that's your goal, then I would use lavender on black. And if you're looking for more of a soft and glitter, like ethereal kind of look, whimsical, then I would do lavender on white. That's my official vote for when I would use each one, because they're both legible, right? It just depends on what effect you're going for. Mhm. Can we fit another one of these down here? Sure can. We're going to trim this right under. Because I put that right up against the edge anyway, so who knows if we're going to be able to die cut that one. And our last purple is going to be lilac. So we have a nice little floral theme going with most of our purples. And this is kind of grape soda's glittery sister. Yeah, Virginia. I think that sometimes the black absorbs that the light, right, that gets reflected from the glitter. That's the only thing I can think, which makes sense, right? In the summer, black absorbs your heat, absorbs the light, right? White reflects it back. So I'm guessing, that's my educated guess. All right, let's get lilac melted and we'll do that run through. I'm just flinging metal dies around. And I saw a couple notes about people adding to their wish list. I also just want to be upfront that not everybody needs all of these. My goal with sharing all of these swatches was like, yes, to right, help Pink and Main. I want to share their products. Obviously, this is all of their channel, but it's not just about having every single one. I want to make sure that you can really see and compare so that you can get whatever ones are going to work the best for you. Because having a ton that just sit there in your craft room isn't fun, right? I want you guys to be able to see ones that you know you're going to love. All right, so refresh through. This is denim, that darker blue. Okay. Then we had hydrangea, that blue teal shift. Then we had lavender, black and white with that iridescent kind of glitter. Then we have grape soda, no glitter, high shine, bold color. Then we have lilac, still bold purple, but now with a purple glitter, purple on purple, tone on tone glitter. And now we're gonna jump into our pinks. Hey, Dee. Yeah, exactly, Elizabeth. Get the ones that speak to you the most. Exactly. I am someone who can struggle with full set syndrome, right? Where you want to be able to have all of them, collect all of the colors. But I am usually someone who is not able to do that all in one go either. So if this helps you make like a priority list for yourself, that's also amazing. Or if there's a color that you see me use and you're like, oh yeah, I'm never going to use that, maybe that will help break that habit out of your head if you struggle with it the way I do. All right, so our first color up is going to be Sangria, which is new. She's a new gal. Yeah, hydrangea is definitely beautiful, Susan. So this is like a fuchsia kind of pink that has a teal, purple, pink glitter in it. So beautiful. I love that it's just like a little deeper. Could be beautiful for winter, would be absolutely stunning in summer. Kind of like sangria itself. If you needed to, it could be an all year round thing. That one melts really nicely. I noticed that the last time we used it too. It gets like, I don't know how to explain it. It's the texture it melts down to is just lovely. So that is sangria with that fun kind of purple blue glitter shift in it. Next up, we have Warm Sunset. This is the other one my mom was excited for when I was telling her about all of these different color shift ones where it's kind of a two-tone. This one is kind of purple, pink to orange, very much like a, in my opinion, what you would kind of expect from something called Warm Sunset. Did you shift? What are you doing? Yeah, I love that there's so many options too, Barbara, just because then I feel like there really is something for everyone. So this has that kind of fuchsia purpley base with a pink and an orange glitter. I feel like you can see it the best from that like further away. But it has that tangerine rose gold almost glitter in it. Well, you can see where I did not, whatever, we'll just save time. You can see where I did not re-anti-static powder tool after I moved that stamp. Whatever, that's good enough. We still got, what do we have? 3, 4, we still have 5 more after this. There you go. Right there, you can see how that shifts. Let's get her melted down. Susan said that one is my favorite, or the one before that, or the one before that. And if that is not exactly how I feel, uh, there you go. So you can see you get the pink, you get a little purple, you get a little orange from that um, glitter, but you just get that really nice high shine. And on its own, it still looks like a fun little pink. So that was Warm Sunset. That's Dawn's favorite so far, she says. All right, let's do this one up again. Yeah, and Virginia said when she first started, she didn't realize she didn't need all the colors. And I feel like I was the same way, not with embossing powders, but just in general. Um, there are some things that it's better, I've found, to just get a couple of to start. And then if you fall in love and you decide that, you know, heat embossing or the glitter embossing or something, I don't know, the inks or even like the stress inks, don't feel like you have to buy every single one to start. Because if you do that and you don't love them, that's just such a waste of time and space and money. So I generally recommend getting 1 or 2 to start of your favorites, and then you can make up your mind from there. So this is Princess Pink, a true bubblegummy pink with a pink glitter. If Clear Day was my baby blue or baby boy blue, this would definitely be kind of my like traditional baby pink. Maybe you'd want a little lighter than this, but I think it would definitely work. Definitely a very fun and girly color. And she has a non-glitter counterpart that we'll do next called Bubblegum. This one definitely has like a softer look when it's melted. Not that it goes pastel, it's just a little bit of a softer pink than dry. And it has that really intense sparkle, but it's a pink sparkle. So you get that pink on pink versus like a blinding silver. Like you can even see that sparkle without the like shining it in the light, just like moving it around. That's a really good sparkle. All right, next piece of paper up, and we're going to do bubble gum. That's that non-shiny, or sorry, non-sparkle bubblegum pink. Yeah, I think that that one, the princess pink, is like a really classic choice. I feel like that would work for a lot of occasions, a lot of themes. Same with this bubble gum, no glitter. Super good impression to start. And that's always a good sign. And that is bubble gum. Super shiny, beautiful, true pink. All right, so let's do that run through. We have sangria, a little bit deeper, a little bit of that blue, purple, pink, like AB. I think that's what it's called. Shift. We have a warm sunset, a little bit of a softer purple with that big pop of orange. We have princess pink, pink on pink glitter. Beautiful. And we have bubble gum. No glitter, traditional, neutrally light pink. All right, and our final three, we've got our last true pink, we've got kind of a coral, and then that cranberry that could be, like I said, a little controversial. You could definitely tell me that it's in the wrong spot. It could need to go with the reds. We'll do these two at once, just like we did with those purples, because that worked out pretty well. Yeah, Dawn, I definitely agree with Barbie being such a thing. All of these pinks are definitely on trend. We'll do happy birthday and then make a wish. I love this make a wish stamp so much. I love that the eye is a candle. Right, all the pinks. Okay. So first we have Pink Tutu, which is a lighter pink with a blue purple kind of shift glitter. A little bit of an iridescent glitter, and you can see much lighter. This one is also one that would be really pretty on black, but it is definitely going to show up on white. But I'll make a note to do that one in do a black swatch for that for next week. And then Peaches and Cream, which is one of my all-time favorite spring colors. She's gorgeous. Again, you could tell me that this really belongs in the oranges. but to me, she's more of a coral. So I tucked her in with the pinks. So far that I know of, there isn't like an official lineup like with distress colors. So I've kind of just been left to my own devices to decide how these go in my bins. And at least I know where they are. My poor heat gun is getting all tangled up from me spinning it around. All right, so we have pink tutu with that kind of iridescent glitter, and compared to bubblegum, you can see she's definitely a lot lighter. Then we have peaches and cream, but she's got like a pinky glitter shift to her. Like I said, you could easily pop her in with the oranges. She's beautiful. I really like that with that Make-A-Wish too, with that little flame. I think that's a really fun color. And then our last one for tonight is cranberries. Another Make-A-Wish. Shift. Try not to waste any cardstock. As little as we can anyway. I agree, Jeanette. They're very pretty. Good for spring, but also easy to use. I'd say the only hard time I would have using either of those might be Christmas. But if you go for a non-traditional color scheme, definitely still use those. Susan said both of those are going on the wish list. And cranberry, you may remember, is I think, the red that we used. Could be wrong now. Maybe I intended to use it and I switched it up. But it was the red I intended to use, at least on our Valentine's little bee bear card a couple weeks ago. So that has this really fun, it's a darker red. It has a holographic, kind of deeper rainbow glitter. It's a very interesting color. There you can see out of focus, especially that hollow, that like a darker holographic rainbow. It's so unique. We'll get her melted down and then we'll do one last run through. All right. And that is cranberries. That's another one where I feel like you can see more of the sparkle just straight on. And then you just get that high shine that way. But so many colors in there with that darker hollow. All right. We're definitely going over our hour, but I want to just walk you through real quick everything we've done so far. So we have, zoom in, we have winter green, we have clear day. Oh my gosh, now I'm going over all these. Sapphire, blueberry fizz, denim, which apparently I didn't melt all the way, hydrangea, lavender, grape soda, lilac, sangria, warm sunset, princess pink, bubblegum, pink tutu, peaches and cream, and cranberries. So that is our first 2 bins done. We will be back next week on Tuesday with another card project, and on Thursday with our last bin, which is the neutrals bin. It looks like this. These are my flocks, so we won't be showing those yet. I only have a couple, but they usually take up the space here because my white and clear usually just live at my desk. So we're going to go over those next week. And yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. I know this was a long one. I appreciate everybody's time. I just want to make sure these are nice and thorough so that they exist for people to go back and look at later on to see the whole spread. And any questions you guys ever have, or if you need to see something over at the end for next time, please let me know. Because I think with the clears and stuff, we might skip some of those because they're just clear. So yeah, I am just so grateful that you guys came to hang out. Thanks for your patience with me. Anytime you guys have anything else, like Melissa asking about those daubers, any products or techniques or colors that you guys would like to see, you can always make requests and I will add them to the top of my priority list because I'm here to help you guys. So yeah, have a great night. I will see you guys back here on Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern next week. I don't have anything planned, so if you have a request, leave it in the comments and I will check back this weekend. So until next time, guys, have a good night. Happy crafting.